Have you ever looked at an old map and thought, how did they even know that existed? Centuries before satellites, airplanes, or Google Earth, some maps appeared to chart coastlines and continents with impossible accuracy. They revealed mountains buried under ice, islands that hadn't yet been discovered, and even entire continents drawn long before history says they were found. Welcome to one of the strangest mysteries in cartography, the maps that shouldn't exist. The most famous of all is the Piri Reis Map, drawn in 1513 by an Ottoman admiral who claimed his sources were ancient charts. On animal skin parchment, he carefully outlined the coasts of Africa and South America. And then, strangely, a third landmass, a southern continent that looks shockingly like Antarctica. But here's the twist. The Antarctica on his map is shown without ice. Modern radar mapping in the 20th century revealed the same ice-free coastline hidden beneath miles of frozen sheet. How could someone in the 1500s have known what Antarctica looked like below the ice? Did Piri Reis have access to knowledge passed down from a forgotten civilization? He even wrote a note in the margins. These maps come from the time of Alexander the Great, from the ancient ones. Was he just being poetic, or admitting that his sources were far older than anyone realized? Then comes the Oronteus Finaeus map, created in 1531, and again, it shows Antarctica. But this one adds rivers, mountain ranges, and bays in places where modern geography later confirmed they exist. The precision is eerie. Some historians believe Oronteus was copying from a master map, a relic of pre-Ice Age Earth. If that's true, we're talking about a civilization that mapped the planet tens of thousands of years ago, when most of it was still wrapped in glaciers. And then there's the Boache map, drawn in the 18th century, but supposedly based on even older data. It depicts Antarctica split into two separate land masses, exactly how scientists later found it using seismic surveys in the 1950s. Coincidence? Or preserved ancient knowledge resurfacing again and again? The Vinland map adds another layer to the mystery. It shows a large piece of land west of Greenland, labeled Vinland. Centuries before Columbus, Viking sagas described a rich, green land across the sea, full of forests and grapes. Modern researchers now think they were describing North America. Archaeological sites in Newfoundland confirm that the Vikings really were here around the year 1000 AD. So was the Vinland map proof that Europeans had charted the New World nearly 500 years before Columbus ever left Spain? But the mystery doesn't stop in Europe. Some maps from China and the Arab world show strikingly accurate coastlines of places they were never supposed to know. The Kangnido map, made in Korea in 1402, depicts Africa with remarkable accuracy decades before the Portuguese voyages. And the Tabula Rogeriana, an Arab map from the 12th century, shows a detailed world stretching from Spain to the Indian Ocean, all before global exploration even began. How did knowledge travel so far, so early? Were ancient sailors sharing information across continents? Or are these all echoes of a single older map, a grand world chart that once existed, now lost to time? Some researchers connect these clues to legends of Atlantis, the mythical advanced civilization said to have vanished beneath the sea. They believe fragments of its knowledge survived, copied, recopied, passed down through explorers, scholars, and monks, until the last remnants surfaced in Renaissance Europe. Mainstream historians, of course, disagree. They argue these maps were lucky guesses, artistic projections mixed with imagination. After all, map makers often filled blank spaces with sea monsters and wild guesses, but still, the details line up just a little too perfectly. Maybe the truth lies somewhere in between. Maybe these maps prove not that Atlantis was real, but that ancient humanity was far more connected, far more observant, and far more advanced than we give credit for. They studied the stars, the winds, the tides, and somehow they saw the shape of the world long before we did. So next time you zoom in on Google Earth, remember that long before satellites, before telescopes, before compasses even, someone, somewhere, already knew. Because maybe the ancients didn't just draw maps of the world, maybe they mapped the future.